Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Channel. Tonight, we will be walking alongside one of nature's most magnificent creatures, the lion. Kings of the savannah, masters of the pride, and symbols of strength across countless cultures and centuries. Lions have prowled the grasslands of Africa for millions of years, their roars echoing across vast territories, their golden coats blending into sun-baked earth. But beyond the image of fierce predator lies a world of gentleness, community, and remarkable adaptation. These are animals that sleep 20 hours a day, that raise their young together, and that communicate in ways far more subtle than their famous roar. If you enjoy these quiet explorations, I invite you to like and subscribe or share a simple thought down in the comments. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. But for now, all you need to do is rest, settle in, and allow the calm presence of these extraordinary animals to carry you into peaceful slumber. Let's begin. Lions sleep up to 20 hours each day. When you think of a lion, you might picture raw power and constant hunting. Yet the truth is far more restful. Lions are among the sleepiest of all big cats, spending an average of 18 to 20 hours each day in a state of rest or sleep. Their enormous energy is reserved for short bursts of hunting, territorial defense, and social interaction. The rest of the time, they lounge beneath acacia trees, sprawled across rock outcrops, or nestled together in tall grass. This prolonged rest is not laziness, it is survival. The African heat can be brutal, and conserving energy during the hottest parts of the day allows lions to remain alert and powerful when it truly matters. Their metabolism is designed for this rhythm: feast, rest, and repeat. To watch a pride of lions sleeping through the afternoon is to witness nature's own lesson in the art of conservation. They know that strength is not about constant motion, but about knowing when to be still. A lion's roar can be heard from 5 miles away. The roar of a lion is one of the most iconic sounds in all of nature. Deep, resonant, and utterly unmistakable. It carries across the savannah for distances up to 5 miles, sometimes even farther under the right conditions. This incredible volume comes from specialized anatomy. Lions have elongated vocal folds and a unique larynx structure that allows them to produce low-frequency sounds with extraordinary power. The roar serves many purposes. It establishes territory, communicating to rival prides that this land is claimed. It helps scattered pride members find one another across vast distances, and it reinforces social bonds within the group. Often, a roar is answered by other members of the pride, creating a chorus that echoes through the night. Male lions roar more frequently than females, especially during the hours of dusk and dawn. When you hear a lion's roar, even on a recording, you are hearing a declaration that has echoed across Africa for millennia, a voice that has shaped the soundscape of an entire continent. Female lions do most of the hunting for the pride. While male lions are often portrayed as the hunters, it is actually the lionesses who bring home most of the meals. Females are smaller, faster, and more agile than males, making them better suited for the cooperative hunts that lions rely on. They work together with remarkable coordination, often surrounding their prey from multiple angles, using the terrain to their advantage. Each lioness plays a role. Some drive the prey toward others waiting in ambush. Some are faster runners and give chase. Others are stronger and make the final takedown. This teamwork allows them to bring down animals much larger than themselves, from zebras and wildebeest to buffalo and even young elephants. The males, with their heavy manes and bulkier bodies, are less efficient hunters but contribute in other ways. They defend the territory, protect the young, and occasionally assist in taking down the largest prey. The division of labor within a pride is not rigid, but it is effective. And at the heart of it all are the lionesses, the true providers of the pride. Lions are the only truly social cats. Most big cats are solitary hunters. Tigers, leopards, jaguars, they all roam and hunt alone, meeting others of their kind only to mate. Lions are the exception. They live in groups called prides, which can range from just a few individuals to over 30 members. A typical pride consists of related females, their cubs, and a coalition of males." Unquote. This social structure provides many advantages. Cooperative hunting increases success rates. Shared cub-rearing means more eyes to watch for danger. And a group can defend territory more effectively than a lone individual. Lions groom each other, play together, and rest in close contact, often piled on top of one another in what looks like a great furry heap. This physical closeness strengthens social bonds and provides comfort. Young cubs grow up surrounded by aunts, cousins, and protective adults. The pride is not just a survival strategy, it is a family. A community that has evolved over millions of years to thrive together in the harsh and beautiful landscapes of Africa. A lion's mane indicates health and strength. The thick, flowing mane of a male lion is one of nature's most striking features. It serves as both protection and advertisement. The mane cushions blows during fights with rival males, particularly around the neck and head where combat is most intense. But its appearance also signals vital information to others. A full, dark mane suggests a male in his prime, well-fed, healthy, and high in testosterone. Lionesses tend to prefer males with impressive manes, seeing them as better protectors and providers. Rival males, on the other hand, may be intimidated by a particularly luxurious mane and choose to avoid confrontation. Interestingly, mane growth is influenced by factors like climate and genetics. Lions in cooler regions or those with certain genetic backgrounds tend to have fuller manes. In hotter areas, manes may be lighter and sparser. Some male lions, particularly in regions like Tsavo in Kenya, have almost no mane at all, an adaptation that may help them cope with extreme heat. The mane is not just decoration. It is a living record of a lion's life, health, and status within the complex social world of the pride. Cubs are born with spots that fade as they grow. When lion cubs are born, they look quite different from the majestic adults they will become. Their fur is covered in faint rosettes and spots, similar to those of a leopard. These markings provide camouflage, helping the tiny, vulnerable cubs blend into dappled shade and tall grass, while they are too young to defend themselves. As the cubs grow, these spots gradually fade, usually disappearing entirely by the time they reach adulthood. The reason for this pattern is rooted in evolutionary history. Ancient ancestors of modern lions likely had spotted coats as adults, a trait still visible in other big cats. In lions, this trait persists only in infancy, a ghostly reminder of their lineage. Watching a young cub with its spotted coat tumble through the grass is like seeing a window into the past. They are adorable, playful, and entirely dependent on their mothers and the pride for survival. Those early months are filled with learning, play-fighting, and the gradual loss of their baby markings as they step into the golden coat of a true lion. Lions can go several days without drinking water. While water is essential to most animals, lions have adapted to survive in environments where it is not always readily available. They can go 4 to 5 days without drinking, obtaining much of their moisture from the blood and bodily fluids of their prey. A fresh kill provides significant hydration, and lions will often consume as much as possible in a single feeding. In areas where water sources are scarce, this ability becomes crucial. During the dry season, when rivers shrink and waterholes turn to mud, lions may travel long distances to reach water, but they do not need to drink daily like many other animals. Their bodies are efficient at conserving moisture, and their behavior reflects this adaptation. They rest during the heat of the day, minimizing water loss through exertion and panting. When they do drink, they often do so deeply, filling their bellies before heading back to the shade. This resilience allows lions to inhabit some of the driest regions of Africa, thriving even where water is a rare and precious resource. Male lions protect the pride from intruders. While the females hunt and care for the young, the males have their own critical role. They are the defenders of the pride, patrolling the borders of their territory and confronting any intruders. These borders can span dozens of square miles, and maintaining them requires constant vigilance. Male lions mark their territory with scent, urine, and scrapes in the ground. They roar to announce their presence and warn off rivals. When another male or coalition of males challenges them, battles can be brutal. Fights involve powerful swipes of clawed paws, bites to the neck and shoulders, and wrestling matches that can last for hours. The stakes are high. If the defending males lose, the victors will often kill the cubs sired by the previous males, bringing the females back into estrus and allowing the new males to father the next generation. Because of this, male lions are fiercely protective of their prides, especially when young cubs are present. Their presence is a shield, a constant reassurance that the pride has guardians watching over them. Lions have been revered across human history. For thousands of years, lions have occupied a special place in human culture. Ancient Egyptians worshipped lion-headed deities like Sekhmet, a goddess of war and healing. The Sphinx, with its lion's body and human head, guarded sacred sites. In Mesopotamia, lions adorned palace gates and royal seals, symbols of kingship and divine power. Greek myths spoke of the Nemean lion, a beast slain by Hercules, as one of his legendary labors. In medieval Europe, lions appeared on coats of arms, representing courage and nobility. Even in cultures far from Africa, where lions never roamed, their image was imported and honored. The lion became a universal symbol of strength, bravery, and majesty. Today, lions appear on flags, in literature, and in films. They are mascots for sports teams and emblems of nations. This enduring reverence speaks to something deep in the human psyche. A recognition of the lion not just as an animal, but as an archetype, a creature that embodies qualities we admire and aspire to. Across continents and centuries, the lion has remained a constant presence in our stories, our art, and our imagination. A lion pride can have up to 30 members. Most prides are smaller, typically consisting of around 15 lions. But in areas with abundant prey and favorable conditions, prides can grow much larger. The largest recorded prides have reached 30 or more individuals. These super prides are rare, but when they form, they create fascinating dynamics. With so many mouths to feed, hunting becomes a communal effort on a grand scale. The larger the pride, the more complex the social interactions. Hierarchies form, alliances shift, and the sheer number of cubs can create a nursery-like environment where young lions grow up surrounded by playmates. However, larger prides also face challenges. Competition for food increases, and during lean times, not all members may get enough to eat. The pride may split temporarily, with subgroups hunting separately before reuniting. In some cases, larger prides eventually fracture into smaller, more manageable groups. The optimal size of a pride depends on many factors, from territory size to prey availability to the number of rival prides nearby. But whether a pride numbers 5 or 30, the core remains the same. A family bound by blood, cooperation, and the shared struggle for survival. Lions are crepuscular, most active at dawn and dusk. While lions can hunt at any time, they are most active during the cooler hours of early morning and late evening. This crepuscular behavior aligns with the patterns of many prey animals, which also emerge to graze during these times. The soft light of dawn and dusk provides cover, making it easier for lions to stalk without being seen. The temperatures are more comfortable, reducing the energy cost of movement. And the world itself is quieter, allowing lions to hear the sounds of potential prey more clearly. During the heat of midday, lions retreat to shade, conserving energy and avoiding the risk of overheating. At night, they may rest or engage in social behaviors, grooming, playing, or simply lying together. But when the sky begins to lighten, or the sun dips toward the horizon, the pride stirs. Muscles stretch, eyes sharpen, and the savanna comes alive with the possibility of the hunt. This rhythm has governed lion behavior for countless generations, a pattern woven into the fabric of their existence. Cubs begin eating meat at around 3 months old. For the first few weeks of life, lion cubs rely entirely on their mother's milk. They are born blind and helpless, weighing just 2 to 4 pounds. Their eyes open after about a week, and they begin to explore their immediate surroundings. By the time they reach 3 months of age, they are introduced to solid food. The mother brings them to a fresh kill, allowing them to sniff, lick, and eventually tear at the meat. At first, they are clumsy and ineffective, their small teeth and jaws not yet strong enough to handle tough hide and sinew. But they learn quickly, watching the adults and mimicking their actions. This gradual transition from milk to meat is crucial. It allows the cubs to develop the strength and skills they will need as they grow. By 6 months, they are eating mostly meat, though they may continue to nurse occasionally for comfort and bonding. The process of learning to eat, to hunt, and to survive is long and filled with trial and error. But with the patience of their mother and the support of the pride, the cubs gradually become capable hunters in their own right. A lion's tongue is rough enough to lick meat off bones. If you have ever felt a house cat's tongue, you know it has a rough, sandpaper-like texture. A lion's tongue is similar, but magnified, covered in tiny, backward-facing barbs called papillae. It is an incredibly effective tool. These barbs help the lion groom itself, removing dirt, parasites, and loose fur. But they also allow the lion to strip meat from bones with remarkable efficiency. After a kill, lions use their tongues to clean every scrap of flesh from a carcass, leaving bones picked nearly bare. This adaptation ensures that nothing goes to waste. In an environment where food is not always guaranteed, every morsel matters. The rough tongue also aids in drinking. Lions lap water by curling their tongue backward, creating a column of liquid that they pull into their mouths. It is a surprisingly delicate action for such a powerful animal. The tongue, though small, is one of the many specialized features that make lions such effective survivors. Lions once roamed across Europe, Asia, and Africa. Today, lions are found almost exclusively in sub-Saharan Africa, with a small, endangered population in the Gir forest of India. But this was not always the case. Thousands of years ago, lions ranged across vast stretches of the world. They prowled the grasslands of southern Europe, the forests and plains of the Middle East, and much of the Indian subcontinent. Cave paintings and ancient texts from Greece, Rome, and Persia all reference lions in their landscapes. Aristotle wrote about them. Roman emperors captured them for gladiatorial games. Biblical stories mentioned lions in the lands of Israel and Mesopotamia. Over time, human expansion, habitat loss, and hunting pushed lions into smaller and smaller territories. By the time of the Roman Empire, lions had already disappeared from much of Europe. By the 19th century, they were gone from the Middle East. Today, the Asiatic lion survives only in India, a remnant population fiercely protected. The story of the lion's range is a reminder of how much the world has changed. These animals once symbolized the wild places of 3 continents. Now, they are confined to fragments of their former domain, their presence a precious echo of a wilder past. A lion's bite force is among the strongest in the animal kingdom. Lions may not have the strongest bite of all carnivores. That honor belongs to animals like the hippopotamus and the saltwater crocodile. But their bite is still incredibly powerful. With a force of around 650 pounds per square inch, a lion can crush bones, sever spinal cords, and deliver killing bites with devastating efficiency. This strength comes from massive jaw muscles and a skull structure designed to withstand the forces generated during a bite. When a lion clamps down on prey, it is not just holding on, it is exerting enough pressure to incapacitate or kill. Lions often aim for the throat, using their bite to suffocate large prey by collapsing the windpipe. For smaller animals, a bite to the neck or head is usually fatal almost instantly. This power is essential for an animal that hunts creatures as large and dangerous as buffalo and giraffes. The bite is the final tool in the lion's arsenal, the culmination of the stalk, the chase, and the struggle, and it is delivered with a force that reflects millions of years of evolution as an apex predator. Lionesses synchronize their reproductive cycles. One of the most fascinating aspects of lion social structure is the way females within a pride often give birth around the same time. This synchronization is not coincidental, it is an evolutionary strategy that benefits the entire pride. When multiple lionesses have cubs of similar ages, they can share the duties of nursing and protection. A cub may suckle from any lactating female, not just its own mother. This communal care increases the survival rate of the young. If one mother is out hunting or injured, her cubs are still fed and guarded. The synchronization also creates a stronger bond among the cubs, who grow up as a cohort, playing and learning together. This social foundation is crucial for their development. However, there is a darker side to this arrangement. If new males take over a pride and kill the existing cubs, the females will come back into estrus roughly at the same time, leading to another synchronized birth cycle under the new males. Nature does not judge. It simply adapts. And in the case of lion reproduction, synchronization is a strategy honed by countless generations. Lions have excellent night vision. Lions are equipped with eyes designed for low-light conditions. Behind their retinas is a layer of cells called the tapetum lucidum, which reflects light back through the retina, giving photoreceptors a second chance to capture it. This is the same feature that makes a lion's eyes glow when caught in a flashlight beam. It allows them to see in light levels 6 times lower than what humans can perceive. This night vision is critical for hunting. Many of their prey animals are also active at night, and the cover of darkness provides lions with a significant advantage. They can spot movement, judge distances, and coordinate attacks even when the savanna is cloaked in deep shadow. However, lions do not see in complete darkness. They still need some ambient light, such as starlight or moonlight. On the brightest nights, their vision is exceptionally sharp. On the darkest, they rely more on their other senses, particularly hearing and smell. But in the typical conditions of an African night, a lion's eyes are finely tuned instruments, perfectly adapted to the world they inhabit. Male lions leave their birth pride at maturity. When young male lions reach around 2 to 3 years of age, they face a turning point. They are driven out of their birth pride, either by the dominant males or through the natural restlessness that comes with maturity. This exile is both a challenge and an opportunity. The young males must now survive on their own, a difficult task without the support of a pride. They often band together with brothers or other unrelated males, forming coalitions. These groups roam the savanna as nomads, honing their hunting skills and growing stronger. Their goal is to eventually take over a pride of their own, but this is no easy feat. Established males will fight fiercely to defend their position. Many young males do not succeed. They may live their entire lives as nomads, never siring cubs. Those who do succeed, however, gain the right to mate and pass on their genes. This cycle of exile, struggle, and eventual dominance is harsh but essential. It ensures genetic diversity, prevents inbreeding, and maintains the dynamic balance of lion populations. For a young male lion, leaving the pride is the first step on a long and uncertain journey toward becoming a king. A pride's territory can span over 100 square miles. The size of a lion's territory varies greatly depending on the availability of prey and water. In areas rich with game, a pride may claim as little as 20 square miles. In harsher, more barren regions, they may need over 100 square miles to sustain themselves. This vast expanse must provide enough food for the entire pride, as well as water sources, shaded resting spots, and safe areas for raising cubs. Lions patrol these territories regularly, marking boundaries with scent and vocalizations. Encroachment by rival prides or nomadic males is met with aggression. Territorial disputes can be deadly, with both sides risking injury or death to claim or defend valuable land. The boundaries of these territories are not rigid lines, but fluid zones where power and presence shift over time. A strong pride may expand its range, pushing weaker neighbors back. A weakened pride may lose ground, forced into smaller, less productive areas. The savanna is a patchwork of these invisible kingdoms, each ruled by a pride that must constantly assert its claim. And within those borders, life unfolds in all its complexity, from birth to death, from feast to famine, from conflict to cooperation. Lions communicate through body language as much as sound. While the roar is the most famous lion vocalization, it is only one part of a rich communication system. Lions also grunt, snarl, hiss, and purr. Each sound conveys different information. A soft, puffing sound, called a chuffing, is a friendly greeting. A low growl warns of displeasure or aggression. A hiss or snarl signals immediate threat. But beyond vocalizations, lions communicate extensively through body language. The position of the ears, the angle of the tail, the tension in the muscles, all of these convey meaning. A lion approaching with ears forward and tail relaxed is curious or friendly. Ears flattened and tail lashing indicate irritation or readiness to fight. During social interactions, lions rub their heads together, a gesture that reinforces bonds and spreads scent. They also engage in grooming, licking each other's faces and necks, which serves both practical and social purposes. Even the way a lion walks, confident and deliberate, or cautious and low, sends signals to others. This silent language is understood instinctively by pride members and rivals alike. It is a testament to the complexity of lion society, where communication goes far beyond the spoken word. Cubs practice hunting by playing. Lion cubs are endlessly playful. They chase each other, pounce on tails, wrestle, and ambush unsuspecting adults. This play might look like simple fun, but it is actually vital training. Through play, cubs develop the skills they will need as adults. They learn to stalk, crouch low, and move silently. They practice the explosive burst of speed needed to catch prey. They refine their coordination and balance, and they learn the social rules of the pride, understanding when to be gentle and when to assert themselves. Older cubs often play rougher than younger ones, mimicking the intensity of a real hunt or fight. Mothers and other adults tolerate this behavior with patience, occasionally stepping in if play becomes too aggressive. This period of learning through play lasts for many months, gradually blending into more serious attempts at hunting. By the time a cub is around 2 years old, It is capable of participating in real hunts, though it may not be fully proficient until it is older. Play is not a distraction from survival. It is preparation for it. Every tumble, every mock fight, every joyful chase is a lesson that will one day mean the difference between life and death. Lions can consume up to 70 pounds of meat in one sitting. When a pride makes a large kill, such as a buffalo or giraffe, the feeding is intense. Lions are opportunistic eaters, and they gorge themselves when food is available, knowing that the next meal may be days away. A large adult male can consume up to 70 pounds of meat in a single sitting. Females eat slightly less, but still impressive amounts. They eat quickly, tearing at the carcass with powerful jaws, swallowing chunks of meat without much chewing. The hierarchy of feeding is loosely structured. Males often eat first, especially if they participated in the kill. Females and cubs eat next. The youngest and smallest cubs may struggle to get their share, relying on scraps or the tolerance of adults. After the initial feeding frenzy, the pride may rest nearby, bellies distended, sleeping off the massive meal. This feast or famine lifestyle is common among large predators. It is a rhythm dictated by the unpredictability of hunting success. Not every hunt results in a kill. Not every kill is large. So when the opportunity arises, lions take full advantage, fueling their bodies for the days ahead. Lions once lived alongside saber-toothed cats. In the Pleistocene epoch, which ended around 11,700 years ago, lions shared the earth with creatures that seem almost mythical today. Among them were saber-toothed cats, large predators with elongated canine teeth designed for delivering deep, slicing wounds to thick-skinned prey. Fossils show that lions and saber-tooths coexisted in various parts of the world. From North America to Europe to Africa, they competed for similar resources, hunted similar prey, and navigated the same landscapes. The exact interactions between these species are lost to time, but we can imagine the complexity of those ancient ecosystems, where multiple apex predators vied for dominance. Eventually, the saber-toothed cats went extinct, victims of climate change, shifting prey populations, and possibly competition from other predators, including lions and early humans. Lions, however, survived. They adapted to changing conditions and persisted through millennia of upheaval. Today, they are one of the last living links to that lost world, a reminder that the story of life on Earth is one of constant change, survival, and, sometimes, loss. A lion's sense of smell is highly developed. While lions are primarily visual hunters, their sense of smell plays a crucial role in their lives. They use scent to mark territory, identify pride members, and detect the presence of rivals or prey. Lions have a special organ called the Jacobson's organ, located in the roof of their mouth. This organ allows them to taste scents, providing detailed information about their environment. You may have seen a lion curling back its lips in a grimace-like expression called a phlegmon response. This behavior helps draw scents into the Jacobson's organ for analysis. It is particularly common when lions encounter the scent markings of other lions, or when males investigate the reproductive status of females. Scent is also a key part of communication. Lions rub against trees, rocks, and each other to spread their scent, creating a chemical signature that identifies individuals and the pride. This invisible world of scent is as important to lions as the visible one, a layer of information that guides their movements, decisions, and interactions. Lion populations have declined by over 90% in the past century. 100 years ago, an estimated 200,000 lions roamed across Africa and parts of Asia. Today, the number is believed to be around 20,000, a decline of more than 90%. This dramatic reduction is the result of habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, poaching, and the depletion of prey species. As human populations expand, lion habitats shrink. Rangelands are converted to farmland, and wild prey is replaced by livestock. Lions that prey on livestock are often killed in retaliation. In some areas, lions are hunted for sport or their body parts, which are valued in certain traditional practices. The loss of lions has profound consequences, not just for the species, but for entire ecosystems. As apex predators, lions regulate prey populations and maintain the balance of the food chain. Without them, ecosystems can become unbalanced, leading to overgrazing, vegetation loss, and the decline of other species. Conservation efforts are underway in many regions, from protected reserves to community-based programs that reduce conflict between lions and people. But the challenges are immense. The survival of lions in the wild depends on our willingness to share space, resources, and the planet with one of its most iconic inhabitants. Cubs face a high mortality rate in their first year. Life for a lion cub is precarious. Despite the protection of the pride, many cubs do not survive their first year. Estimates suggest that up to 80% of lion cubs die before reaching adulthood. The threats are numerous. Starvation is common, especially during times when prey is scarce. The weakest cubs may be unable to compete for food and slowly fade away. Predators also pose a danger. Hyenas, leopards, and even male lions from rival prides will kill cubs if given the chance. Disease and parasites take a toll as well. And then there is the harsh reality of pride dynamics. When new males take over a pride, they often kill the existing cubs to bring the females back into breeding condition. This infanticide ensures that the new males can father the next generation. But it is devastating to the cubs and their mothers. Lionesses will sometimes fight to defend their young, but they are often outmatched by larger, stronger males. Those cubs that do survive the gauntlet of their first year are tougher, smarter, and luckier than their siblings. They carry forward the legacy of the pride, shaped by the unforgiving process of natural selection. Lions can live up to 15 years in the wild. The lifespan of a lion varies depending on many factors, but in the wild, most lions live between 10 and 15 years. Females often live longer than males, as they face fewer violent confrontations. Males, constantly challenged by rivals and subjected to the physical toll of defending territory and prides, often have shorter lives. Some males die in their prime, defeated in battle. Others, weakened by age or injury, are driven out by younger, stronger challengers and may not survive long as nomads. In captivity, where food is guaranteed and medical care is available, lions can live into their 20s. But the wild is unforgiving. Even the most powerful lion is subject to the ravages of time, injury, and competition. Yet within their years, lions live fully. They hunt, they protect, they raise young, they roar under the stars. Their lives are not measured by length alone, but by the strength of the bonds they form and the legacy they leave behind. Each generation gives way to the next, an endless cycle of life that has continued for millions of years. The lion's scientific name is Panthera leo. In the formal language of science, the lion is known as Panthera leo. This name places it within the genus Panthera, which also includes tigers, leopards, and jaguars. The species name, leo, comes from the Latin word for lion. Within Panthera leo, there are several recognized subspecies. The African lion, which includes all lions across sub-Saharan Africa, is sometimes divided further into regional populations. The Asiatic lion, found only in India's Gir forest, is a distinct subspecies, slightly smaller and with a less pronounced mane. Genetic studies have revealed that all modern lions share a common ancestor, and the differences between populations are relatively minor compared to the variations seen in other big cats. The name Panthera leo has been in use for centuries, a label that connects modern science to ancient knowledge. When Linnaeus formalized the system of binomial nomenclature in the 18th century, he gave the lion this name, and it has remained ever since. It is a reminder that the study of lions is not new. Humans have been observing, categorizing, and marveling at these animals for as long as history has been recorded. Lions have retractable claws. Like most cats, lions possess retractable claws, a feature that offers several advantages. When the claws are retracted, they are protected from wear and remain sharp. This is crucial for hunting, as dull claws would be less effective at gripping and holding prey. When needed, the claws extend, driven by muscles and tendons in the paw. They curve slightly, providing excellent purchase on skin, hide, and earth. A lion uses its claws to climb, though it does so less frequently and less skillfully than smaller cats. It uses them to grip prey during a takedown, holding on with powerful forelimbs while delivering a killing bite, and in fights with rivals, claws become weapons, slashing and tearing with brutal efficiency. The retractable nature of the claws also makes the lion's walk silent. Without claws clicking against the ground, a stalking lion can move almost noiselessly, an essential advantage when approaching wary prey. This simple anatomical feature, shared by the domestic cat lounging on a couch, is one of the key tools in the lion's survival kit. The white lion is a rare genetic variation. Occasionally, a lion is born with a pale, almost white coat. These white lions are not albinos. They have normal eye coloration, usually gold or blue, and their condition is due to a recessive gene that affects pigmentation. White lions occur naturally in the wild, though they are extremely rare. In fact, they were once thought to be purely mythical until documented sightings confirmed their existence in the Timbavati region of South Africa. The white coloration offers no survival advantage. In fact, it can be a disadvantage. The pale coat makes it harder for the lion to blend into the tawny grasses of the savanna, potentially reducing hunting success. Cubs with this coloration may also struggle in the harsh realities of the wild. However, in protected reserves and captive populations, white lions are cherished and bred intentionally. They have become symbols of rarity and beauty, admired by people around the world. Whether in the wild or in sanctuaries, white lions are a reminder of the genetic diversity that exists within the species, a variation on the theme of Panthera leo. Lionesses remain with their birth pride for life. While young males leave their birth pride at maturity, females generally stay. They form the stable core of the pride, living alongside their mothers, sisters, aunts, and cousins. This continuity provides strength and stability. Knowledge is passed down through generations. Experienced lionesses teach younger ones where to find water, how to hunt, and how to navigate the dangers of the territory. The bonds between related females are deep and enduring. They hunt together, raise cubs together, and defend the pride together. This lifelong connection creates a culture within the pride, a set of behaviors and knowledge unique to that group. Of course, circumstances can sometimes force females to leave. If a pride becomes too large, some females may split off to form a new pride. If food becomes too scarce, females may be driven away. And in rare cases, females may choose to join nomadic males, forming the nucleus of a new pride. But these are exceptions. For most lionesses, the pride is not just a group. It is home, family, and identity. It is the thread that weaves through their entire lives, connecting them to the past and the future. Lions are apex predators with few natural enemies. At the top of the food chain, lions have little to fear from other animals. As apex predators, they regulate the populations of herbivores and smaller carnivores, maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. However, they are not entirely without enemies. Hyenas, when in large groups, can be formidable opponents. There are documented cases of hyena clans, overwhelming lions, stealing kills, or even killing lone lions. Crocodiles pose a threat when lions come to drink or cross rivers. A large crocodile can ambush and kill a lion with shocking speed. Elephants and buffalo, when defending their young or when wounded and desperate, can injure or kill lions. And of course, humans are by far the most significant threat. Through hunting, habitat destruction, and conflict, humans have become the lion's greatest enemy. But in the natural world, away from human influence, a healthy adult lion in a strong pride has little to fear. They walk the savanna with confidence, their roars echoing across the land, unchallenged masters of their domain. A lion's heartbeat can slow to conserve energy. During the long hours of rest, a lion's physiology shifts into a low-energy state. The heart rate slows, breathing becomes shallow and regular, and metabolic processes reduce to a minimum. This ability to throttle down is part of what allows lions to sleep so much. They are not wasting energy, maintaining a high metabolic rate when they do not need to. When the time comes to hunt or fight, the heart rate surges, adrenaline floods the system, and the lion transforms from a lounging, almost lazy figure into a focused, powerful predator. This dynamic range, from deep rest to explosive action, is a hallmark of many large carnivores. It reflects the reality of their lives, long periods of inactivity punctuated by brief, intense moments of effort. The lion's body is perfectly adapted to this rhythm, conserving resources when possible and deploying them with devastating efficiency when necessary. It is a biological strategy honed over millions of years, one that balances the demands of survival with the limitations of energy and food availability. Lions are capable of short bursts of incredible speed. Lions are not built for endurance running. They are sprinters, capable of reaching speeds of up to 50 miles per hour in short bursts. This speed is essential for closing the final distance between a stalking lion and its prey. Most hunts rely on stealth and coordination to get close before the final rush. Once the lion commits, it must accelerate quickly, using powerful leg muscles to propel itself forward. However, this burst of speed can only be sustained for a few hundred yards at most. If the prey escapes the initial charge, the lion usually gives up, unwilling to waste precious energy on a prolonged chase. This is why the approach is so important. Lions invest time and effort in getting as close as possible before revealing themselves. The sprint is the culmination of patience and strategy, a final explosive effort that determines success or failure. And when it works, it is a display of raw power and precision, the lion closing the gap in seconds and bringing down prey with bone-crushing force. The bond between lionesses and their cubs is profound. A lioness is fiercely protective of her cubs. From the moment they are born, she dedicates herself to their survival. She nurses them, grooms them, and keeps them hidden from danger during their first vulnerable weeks. As they grow, she teaches them the skills they will need, bringing them to kills, showing them how to stalk, and defending them from threats. The bond is not just practical, it is emotional. Lionesses show clear signs of affection toward their young, nuzzling them, playing with them, and responding to their calls with urgency. When a cub dies, some lionesses have been observed showing signs of grief, lingering near the body, or calling out for the lost cub. This depth of feeling is a reminder that lions, like many mammals, experience emotions that mirror our own. The love of a mother for her child is not unique to humans. It is written into the biology and behavior of countless species, including the lion. And it is this bond this fierce dedication that gives the next generation a chance to survive in a world that is often harsh and unforgiving. Lions have a unique bone structure in their throat that prevents them from purring. Domestic cats purr, a rumbling vibration that signals contentment. Lions, however, cannot purr in the same way. The difference lies in the structure of the hyoid bone, a small bone in the throat that supports the tongue and larynx. In purring cats, this bone is made of flexible cartilage, allowing the vibrations that create the purr. In roaring cats, like lions, tigers, and leopards, the hyoid bone is partially ossified, more rigid, and this rigidity enables the production of powerful roars instead. So, there is a trade-off. Lions gain the ability to roar, a sound that carries for miles and serves vital functions in communication and territory defense. But they lose the ability to purr. Instead of purring, lions produce a sound called chuffing, a soft, puffing noise made during moments of affection or greeting. It serves a similar social purpose, expressing friendliness and reassurance. So while a lion cannot curl up and purr like a house cat, it has its own ways of expressing contentment and connection. And in the grand scheme of survival, the roar is worth the sacrifice. A pride of lions can bring down prey much larger than themselves. One of the advantages of cooperative hunting is the ability to tackle prey that a single lion could never handle alone. Working together, a pride can bring down a fully grown buffalo, which can weigh over a ton, and fight with deadly horns. They can overwhelm a giraffe, whose powerful kicks can shatter bones. They can even take down young elephants, though this is rare and extremely dangerous. The key is coordination. Lions spread out, surrounding the prey from multiple angles. Some distract or drive the animal toward others, waiting in ambush. Once the prey is within range, multiple lions attack simultaneously, using their combined weight and strength to bring it down. This teamwork is not instinctive in the strictest sense. It is learned through experience and refined through practice. Younger lions watch and participate in hunts, gradually understanding their role. Over time, the pride develops patterns and strategies that work for their specific environment and prey base. This ability to hunt cooperatively is one of the defining features of lion society, a testament to the power of collaboration in the face of challenges too great for any individual to overcome alone. Lions have been symbols in religion and mythology worldwide. The lion appears in the sacred texts and stories of many cultures. In Christianity, the lion is a symbol of Christ, representing both his power and his sacrifice. The phrase Lion of Judah is a title of reverence. In Hinduism, the goddess Durga rides a lion, symbolizing her strength and courage. In Buddhism, lions guard temple entrances, representing protection and the Buddha's royal heritage. In ancient Persia, lions were associated with the sun and royalty. In Africa, among the peoples who share the land with lions, stories and beliefs about these animals are woven into the fabric of tradition. Some see the lion as a protector, others as a challenger, and still others as a sacred being that bridges the human and spiritual worlds. This widespread symbolic presence speaks to the lion's impact on the human imagination. Whether feared, revered, or admired, the lion has been more than an animal. It has been a vessel for human ideas about power, courage, divinity, and the wild forces of nature. And even today, in secular and modern contexts, the lion retains that symbolic weight, a creature that represents something greater than itself. The roar of a lion can cause the ground to vibrate. When a lion roars, the sound is not just loud, it is felt. The low-frequency components of the roar can resonate through the ground, creating vibrations that can be detected by other animals and even humans standing nearby. This physical presence adds to the impact of the roar, making it not just an auditory experience but a visceral one. It is a reminder of the sheer power contained within the lion's body, a force that extends beyond the animal itself and into the environment. For other lions, these vibrations may provide additional information about the roarer, its size, health, and proximity. For prey animals, the vibrations can trigger a fear response, a primal recognition of danger. And for humans, the experience of feeling a lion's roar is unforgettable, a moment when the boundary between observer and observed dissolves, and the raw presence of the wild becomes undeniable. This multisensory communication is yet another layer in the complexity of lion behavior, a way of asserting dominance and presence that goes beyond sound alone. Lions are mostly unsuccessful hunters, with a success rate of around 30%. Despite their reputation as fearsome predators, lions fail more often than they succeed. Studies of lion hunts show that only about 1 in 3 or 4 attempts results in a kill. The reasons for failure are many. Prey animals are fast, alert, and often live in groups with many eyes watching for danger. A single misstep, a shift in the wind, a moment of hesitation can give the prey the warning it needs to escape. Lions also face the challenge of the final chase. Even if they get close, the prey's agility and speed can carry it to safety. Injuries during hunts are common. A well-placed kick from a zebra or a horn from a buffalo can break bones or cause serious wounds. Given these challenges, it is remarkable that lions survive at all, but their strategy is built around persistence. They hunt often, using the numbers and coordination of the pride to improve their odds. And when they do succeed, the reward is substantial, enough meat to sustain the pride for days. Failure is not a flaw. It is simply part of the equation, a reality that lions have adapted to over millennia. Cubs are hidden for the first weeks of life. When a lioness gives birth, she seeks out a secluded spot away from the pride, a dense thicket, a rocky crevice, or a hidden patch of tall grass. Here, she will stay with her newborn cubs for the first few weeks, keeping them safe from predators and even from the pride itself. Newborn cubs are vulnerable, small, blind, and unable to defend themselves. By hiding them, the mother increases their chances of survival. During this time, she will leave only briefly to hunt or drink, always returning quickly. The cubs spend their days nursing and sleeping, gradually gaining strength. After about 6 to 8 weeks, when the cubs are more robust and mobile, the mother will bring them out to meet the pride. This introduction is a significant moment. The other lions, especially the females, will sniff and inspect the cubs, and from this point on, the cubs become part of the communal care system. But those early weeks of isolation are critical. They are the foundation upon which the cubs' lives are built, a period of vulnerability and protection that sets the stage for everything that follows. A lion's sense of hearing is exceptionally acute. While their vision and smell are well adapted to their lifestyle, a lion's hearing is perhaps its most finely tuned sense. Lions can hear the low-frequency sounds made by prey animals from great distances, allowing them to detect herds of wildebeest or zebra, even when they are out of sight. They can also hear the high-pitched calls of distressed young animals, which can signal an easy meal. This acute hearing is especially important during the night, when visibility is reduced and sound becomes the primary source of information. Lions can rotate their ears independently, like radar dishes, pinpointing the direction and distance of sounds with remarkable accuracy. This ability is crucial for coordinating hunts in the dark, where pride members may be spread out over a wide area. A soft grunt from one lioness can alert another to her position. The rustle of movement in the grass can signal the approach of prey. In the world of the lion, sound is a map, a warning system, and a communication network, all rolled into one. And the lion's ears are the instruments that make sense of it all. Lions engage in allogrooming to strengthen social bonds. Allogrooming is the act of one animal grooming another, and it is a common behavior among lions. You will often see pride members licking each other's faces, necks, and bodies, especially after a meal or during periods of rest. This grooming serves practical purposes, removing dirt, parasites, and loose fur. But it is also deeply social. Grooming releases endorphins, creating feelings of relaxation and bonding. It reinforces the relationships within the pride, reminding individuals of their connections to one another. Mothers groom their cubs extensively, and cubs groom each other during play. Adult females groom each other, and even males, when part of the pride, participate. The act of grooming is an expression of trust and affection, a quiet ritual that weaves the social fabric of the pride. In a world where cooperation is essential for survival, these small, gentle interactions are as important as the dramatic moments of the hunt or the defense of territory. They are the glue that holds the pride together, the daily affirmations of loyalty and kinship. The lion population in India is a conservation success story. The Asiatic lion was once on the brink of extinction. By the early 20th century, hunting and habitat loss had reduced the population to fewer than 24 individuals, all confined to the Gir forest in the Indian state of Gujarat. The situation seemed hopeless, but through dedicated conservation efforts, including strict protection, habitat management, and community involvement, the population has rebounded. Today, there are over 600 Asiatic lions in the Gir forest and surrounding areas. This recovery is considered one of the great success stories of wildlife conservation. However, challenges remain. The lions are confined to a small area, making them vulnerable to disease outbreaks and genetic bottlenecks. Efforts are underway to establish a second population in a different location, providing a safety net against catastrophe. The success of the Gir lions demonstrates that with commitment and resources, it is possible to bring a species back from the edge. But it also highlights the fragility of small populations and the ongoing need for vigilance and care. The Asiatic lion is a symbol of hope, a reminder that extinction is not inevitable, and that humans can choose to be stewards rather than destroyers of the natural world. Lions have been portrayed in art for over 30,000 years. Some of the oldest known artworks created by humans feature lions. In the Chauvet Cave in France, paintings dating back over 30,000 years depict lions stalking prey, their forms rendered with remarkable accuracy and artistry. These ancient artists lived in a world where lions roamed Europe, and they captured the power and grace of these animals on stone walls. Throughout history, lions have continued to appear in art. Egyptian sculptures, Mesopotamian reliefs, Greek mosaics, medieval tapestries, Renaissance paintings, and modern films all feature the lion. Each era has brought its own interpretation, but the subject remains constant. The lion has been a muse for artists across cultures and centuries, a figure that embodies strength, beauty, and wildness. This artistic legacy is a testament to the enduring fascination humans have with lions. We have walked alongside them, feared them, revered them, and committed them to memory in paint, stone, and song. And even as their numbers dwindle in the wild, their image remains immortal, preserved in the art we create and the stories we tell. A lion's gestation period is about 110 days. From conception to birth, a lioness carries her cubs for approximately 3.5 months. This relatively short gestation period is typical for large carnivores. During pregnancy, the lioness continues to hunt and participate in pride activities, though she may become more cautious as the birth approaches. When the time comes, she seeks solitude, finding a safe, hidden location to give birth. The birth itself usually involves a litter of 1 to 4 cubs, though 2 to 3 is most common. The cubs are born blind, helpless, and weighing only 2 to 4 pounds. The mother stays with them almost constantly for the first few days, nursing and keeping them warm. This period is critical. The cubs are extremely vulnerable, and the mother's attentiveness is the only thing standing between them and death. As the days pass, the cubs grow stronger, their eyes open, and they begin to move around more. But they will remain hidden for several more weeks before being introduced to the pride. This brief but intense gestation and early care period is the beginning of a long journey, one that will see some cubs thrive and others fall, shaped by the harsh realities of life in the wild. Lions can recognize each other by their roars. Just as humans can recognize a friend's voice, lions can identify individual pride members by the unique characteristics of their roars. Each lion's roar has subtle variations in pitch, tone, and rhythm that serve as a vocal fingerprint. This ability is crucial for maintaining social cohesion, especially when pride members are separated by distance or terrain. A lioness out hunting alone can hear a roar from her pride and know immediately whether it is a pride mate or an intruder. Males can recognize the roars of their coalition partners and distinguish them from rival males. This recognition reduces the need for constant visual confirmation and allows lions to navigate their social world even when they cannot see each other. Researchers have studied this ability by playing recorded roars to wild lions and observing their responses. Lions react differently to the roars of known individuals versus strangers, often approaching familiar calls and retreating from unfamiliar ones. This sophisticated auditory recognition is yet another example of the complexity of lion communication, a reminder that these animals live in a rich social world where identity and relationships are constantly negotiated through sound. The decline of prey species directly impacts lion survival. Lions are entirely dependent on the availability of prey. When prey populations decline, so do lion populations. This connection is direct and unforgiving. In many parts of Africa, prey species like zebras, wildebeest, and antelope have declined due to habitat loss, competition with livestock, and overhunting by humans. As these animals disappear, lions have fewer resources to sustain themselves. Prides may shrink, reproductive rates may drop, and starvation becomes more common. In some cases, lions turn to livestock as an alternative food source, which brings them into conflict with humans and often results in retaliatory killings. Conservation efforts increasingly focus on protecting not just lions, but the entire ecosystem they depend on. This means preserving large, intact habitats where prey can thrive, managing human-wildlife conflict, and ensuring that local communities benefit from the presence of wildlife. The lion is a charismatic species, one that draws attention and resources. But its survival is inextricably linked to the less glamorous work of protecting grasslands, managing water resources, and ensuring that the complex web of life remains intact. The lion is not an isolated entity. It is part of a system, and the health of that system determines whether lions will endure or vanish. Male coalitions can consist of up to 7 individuals. While many male lions are solitary or pair up with a brother, some form larger coalitions. These groups can include up to 7 males, though 3 to 4 is more common. Larger coalitions have significant advantages. They can take over prides more easily, defend territories more effectively, and hold on to their position for longer periods. This extended tenure allows them to father more cubs, increasing their reproductive success. However, larger coalitions also face challenges. Resources must be shared, and internal rivalries can develop. Not all members of a coalition are equally dominant, and tensions can arise over access to females. In some cases, coalitions fracture, with weaker or lower-ranking males being driven out. But when a coalition works together harmoniously, it is a formidable force. Rival males think twice before challenging a group of 4 or 5 strong, experienced lions. This cooperation among males, while less discussed than the cooperation among females, is an important part of lions' social structure. It is another example of how lions have evolved to work together, pooling their strength to achieve goals that would be impossible alone. Lions can suffer from diseases like tuberculosis and feline immunodeficiency virus. Like all animals, lions are susceptible to disease. In some regions, tuberculosis has become a significant threat, particularly in areas where lions come into contact with infected buffalo. The disease is transmitted when lions consume infected prey, and it can spread through a pride, weakening individuals and reducing their ability to hunt and reproduce. Feline immunodeficiency virus, similar to HIV in humans, also affects lions. It suppresses the immune system, making lions more vulnerable to other infections and diseases. These health challenges add another layer of difficulty to the already harsh life of a wild lion. Conservationists and veterinarians work to monitor and manage disease outbreaks, sometimes vaccinating or treating individual lions. But in wild populations, disease is often just another selective pressure, one that weeds out the weak and ensures that only the strongest survive. In captive populations, disease management is more intensive, with regular health checks and medical interventions. But in the wild, lions must rely on their own immune systems, shaped by millions of years of evolution, to fight off the pathogens that share their world. A lion's tail is used for communication and balance. The tail of a lion is not just an appendage, it is a tool. The tuft of hair at the end, unique to lions among big cats, is particularly expressive. The position and movement of the tail convey a lion's mood and intentions. A tail held high with the tuft flicking indicates alertness or curiosity. A tail lashing back and forth signals irritation or aggression. A relaxed, low-hanging tail suggests calm. During a hunt, the tail helps with balance, especially when making sharp turns at high speed. The tail acts as a counterweight, allowing the lion to shift its center of gravity and maintain control even in the midst of chaotic pursuit. Cubs often play with their mother's tail, pouncing on the tuft as it moves, a behavior that helps them develop their coordination and hunting reflexes. The tail is also used in social interactions. A mother may flick her tail to signal her cubs to follow. Pride members may brush tails as they pass, a small gesture of acknowledgement. This seemingly simple part of the lion's anatomy is, in fact, a versatile and important feature, contributing to movement, communication, and play. Lions have been kept in captivity for thousands of years. The history of lions in captivity stretches back to ancient civilizations. The Egyptians kept lions, often as symbols of royal power. Roman emperors maintained private menageries, displaying lions as trophies of conquest. During the medieval period, European nobility kept lions in castles and estates, a display of wealth and exoticism. In more recent centuries, zoos around the world have kept lions, initially as curiosities and later as part of conservation and education efforts. Today, modern zoos strive to provide environments that meet the physical and psychological needs of lions, with large enclosures, enrichment activities, and social groupings that mimic the wild. Captive breeding programs have helped maintain genetic diversity and provide a safety net for the species. However, the ethics of keeping lions in captivity remain a subject of debate. Can a captive environment ever truly meet the needs of such a wide-ranging, complex animal? Advocates argue that well-run zoos play a vital role in conservation and education, inspiring people to care about wildlife. Critics contend that no enclosure can replace the freedom of the wild. The reality is nuanced, and the future of lions may depend on both wild populations and carefully managed captive ones, each playing a role in ensuring the species endures. A lion's whiskers help it navigate in the dark. Whiskers, or vibrissae, are highly sensitive tactile hairs found on a lion's face, above the eyes, and on the backs of the front legs. These whiskers are deeply embedded in the skin and connected to nerve endings that provide detailed sensory information. When a lion moves through dense brush or tall grass, the whiskers detect obstacles and changes in the environment, helping the animal navigate without relying solely on vision. This is particularly useful at night or in low-light conditions. Whiskers also play a role in hunting. They can detect the slightest movements of air, indicating the presence of nearby prey. When a lion has pinned down an animal, the whiskers on its muzzle can help it feel for the right position to deliver a killing bite, even in total darkness. This tactile feedback is invaluable in the final moments of a hunt. The whiskers are so important that they are never groomed away or damaged intentionally. They are a quiet, often overlooked part of the lion's sensory toolkit, yet they contribute significantly to the animal's ability to move, hunt, and survive in a world where visibility is not always guaranteed. Lions have played a role in human culture as symbols of courage and justice. In heraldry, the lion is one of the most common symbols, appearing on coats of arms, flags, and emblems around the world. It represents courage, strength, and nobility. The British Royal Coat of Arms features 3 lions. The symbol appears on the flags of nations like Sri Lanka, Ethiopia, and Belgium. In literature, lions are often portrayed as noble and just. The character of Aslan in C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia is a lion who embodies wisdom and righteousness. In The Lion King, the story of Simba explores themes of responsibility, courage, and the circle of life. Even in everyday language, phrases like lion-hearted and the lion's share draw on the animal's symbolic power. This cultural presence is a testament to the qualities humans see in lions. They are not just predators. They are emblems of virtues we admire, and this symbolic weight has, in some ways, contributed to conservation efforts. People are more likely to protect and value an animal they see as noble and magnificent. The lion's cultural status is both a reflection of its real-world presence and a force that helps shape its future. Lions can survive in a variety of habitats. While the classic image of a lion is set in the golden grasslands of the African savanna, lions are surprisingly adaptable. They can be found in a range of habitats, from open plains to dense woodlands, from semi-arid scrublands to the edges of deserts. In Botswana, lions inhabit the lush waterways of the Okavango Delta, where they have learned to hunt in swampy terrain, even swimming between islands. In Namibia, lions survive in the harsh, arid landscapes of the Skeleton Coast, one of the driest places on Earth. Here, they travel vast distances in search of prey and water, enduring conditions that would challenge most large predators. In India, the Asiatic lions of Gir forest live in dry, deciduous forest, a very different environment from the African plains. This adaptability is part of what has allowed lions to persist for so long and across such a wide range. They are not narrowly specialized to a single environment. They can adjust their behavior, hunting strategies, and social structures to fit the landscape they inhabit. This flexibility is a strength, though it also means that the loss of any habitat is a loss of potential lion territory. Protecting the diversity of environments where lions can live is essential to ensuring the species has a future. A lion cub's eyes change color as it matures. When lion cubs are born, their eyes are closed. When they open, usually around a week after birth, the eyes are blue or grayish. This is common in many mammals, including humans. The blue color is due to the lack of pigment in the iris. As the cub grows, melanin develops and the eye color gradually changes. By the time the cub is a few months old, its eyes have transitioned to the golden or amber color typical of adult lions. This change is subtle but striking, marking one of the many transformations that occur as the cub matures. The golden eyes of an adult lion are one of its most recognizable features, piercing and intense. They reflect light in the dark, glowing with an eerie brilliance when caught in a beam. These eyes are not just beautiful. They are functional, designed to gather as much light as possible and provide the lion with excellent vision, even in low-light conditions. The journey from blue-eyed cub to golden-eyed adult is a physical manifestation of growth, a visible sign that the young lion is becoming what it is meant to be. Lions have been featured in currency and national symbols. The lion's image has been used on coins, banknotes, and seals for centuries. Ancient Greek coins bore the image of lions, symbols of power and divinity. In modern times, the lion appears on the currency of several nations. Singapore's currency features the lion, referencing the country's name, which means Lion City. Kenya's coat of arms includes 2 lions, representing strength and courage. The lion is also the national animal of several countries, including Belgium, Bulgaria, and Ethiopia. In sports, the British and Irish Lions rugby team takes its name and emblem from the animal. The Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer film studio famously features a roaring lion as its logo, one of the most iconic images in cinema. This widespread use of the lion as a symbol speaks to its universal recognition and the qualities it is believed to embody. Whether on a coin in your pocket, a flag flying above a government building, or a screen at the beginning of a movie, the lion is present, a constant reminder of the power and majesty we associate with this animal. It is an image that transcends borders and cultures, uniting people in their admiration for one of nature's most magnificent creatures. The social hierarchy within a pride is fluid. While there are patterns and tendencies in how lion prides are structured, the hierarchy is not rigidly fixed. Dominance among males is usually based on size, strength, and aggression. The strongest male may have preferential access to food and mating opportunities, but this dominance is not absolute. Males within a coalition often cooperate and share access to females. Among females, the hierarchy is even more egalitarian. Related females tend to be cooperative rather than competitive. Older, more experienced lionesses may take leading roles in hunts or decision-making, but this is more about skill and experience than dominance. There is no single alpha female in the way the term is sometimes used. Instead, the pride operates as a collective, with individuals contributing according to their abilities and circumstances. Cubs are at the bottom of the hierarchy, but they are protected and cared for by the adults. As they grow, they gradually integrate into the social structure. This fluid, cooperative hierarchy is part of what makes lion prides so successful. Flexibility allows the pride to adapt to changing conditions, and cooperation ensures that the group functions effectively, even as individuals come and go. Lions are featured in ancient cave art across multiple continents. The depiction of lions in prehistoric art is not limited to Europe. Cave paintings and rock art featuring lions or lion-like creatures have been found in Africa and Asia as well. These ancient images, created by early humans who lived alongside these animals, offer a glimpse into the relationship between our ancestors and lions. The artists captured the power and presence of the lion with skill and attention to detail. Some images show lions in motion, stalking, or hunting. Others depict lions at rest or in confrontation with other animals. These artworks are more than just pictures. They are stories, expressions of the awe and perhaps fear that lions inspired. They may have been part of rituals, teaching tools, or simply attempts to capture and understand the world. Whatever their purpose, they demonstrate that the lion has been part of the human experience for tens of thousands of years. We have shared the earth with lions for much of our history as a species. And long before we wrote about them, we painted them, etching their image onto stone, ensuring that their presence would be remembered long after the individual animals were gone. Lions are being reintroduced to areas where they once roamed. In some parts of Africa, conservation efforts are focused not just on protecting existing lion populations, but on reintroducing lions to areas where they have been locally extinct. These reintroductions are complex undertakings, requiring careful planning, community involvement, and ongoing management. The process begins with habitat assessment, ensuring that the area can support a lion population. Prey must be abundant, water accessible, and human-wildlife conflict minimized. Then, lions, often from captive breeding programs or translocated from overpopulated areas, are carefully released. They are monitored closely, often fitted with GPS collars to track their movements and ensure they are adapting successfully. The goal is to establish a self-sustaining population that can grow and thrive. Reintroductions have been successful in places like South Africa, where lions have returned to reserves and national parks they had not inhabited for decades. These efforts are not without challenges. Local communities must be engaged and benefit from conservation initiatives. Livestock protection measures must be put in place, and the lions themselves must adjust to new environments. But when successful, reintroductions represent hope. They demonstrate that the loss of lions is not permanent, that with effort and commitment, we can restore what has been lost. A lion's canine teeth can grow over 3 inches long. The canine teeth of a lion are formidable weapons. These long, curved teeth can reach lengths of over 3 inches and are used primarily for gripping and killing prey. When a lion bites down, the canines penetrate deep into flesh, often targeting the throat or neck. The pressure and placement of the bite can sever the spinal cord or crush the windpipe, delivering a swift kill. These teeth are also used in fights with rivals, tearing into flesh and causing serious injuries. Despite their strength, canine teeth can break. A broken canine is a serious problem for a lion. It reduces hunting effectiveness and can lead to infections. Some lions with broken or damaged teeth are forced to rely more heavily on their prides or resort to hunting easier, smaller prey. The canines are kept sharp through use and wear, but they do not regenerate if lost. A lion only has one set of adult teeth, so damage is permanent. This makes the canines precious tools, essential to the lion's survival. They are the final instruments in the hunt, the culmination of stalking, chasing, and struggling. And they are a reminder that for all the lion's power, it is ultimately dependent on the sharpness and strength of its teeth. Lions in captivity can become obese without proper management. In the wild, a lion's weight is regulated by the feast or famine cycle of hunting. Meals are irregular, and physical activity is necessary for survival. In captivity, however, food is provided regularly, and there is no need to hunt. Without careful management, lions can become overweight or even obese. Excess weight leads to health problems, including joint issues, heart disease, and reduced lifespan. Modern zoos address this through controlled diets, providing food in amounts that match the lion's energy needs. They also use enrichment techniques to encourage physical activity. Food may be hidden or suspended, requiring the lion to work for it. Climbing structures, toys, and environmental challenges keep lions engaged and active. Some facilities even implement fasting days, mimicking the natural rhythm of irregular meals. These efforts aim to keep captive lions as healthy as possible, replicating the conditions of the wild to the extent that captivity allows. The challenge of managing lion health in captivity highlights the complexities of keeping such powerful, active animals in an artificial environment. It requires constant attention, expertise, and a commitment to the welfare of the individual animals. Cubs learn by imitating the adults around them. A lion cub's education is not formal. There are no lessons in the human sense. Instead, cubs learn by watching and copying the adults in their pride. They observe how their mothers stalk, how they crouch low in the grass, how they coordinate with other lionesses during a hunt. The cubs then mimic these behaviors in play, practicing on each other, on sticks, or on unsuspecting insects. This observational learning is crucial. Cubs that pay attention and practice diligently become more skilled hunters. Those that do not may struggle to keep up. As they grow older, cubs are allowed to accompany hunts, watching from a distance at first, then gradually participating. They make mistakes, of course. They move too soon, make too much noise, or misjudge distances. But each failure is a lesson, and over time, the clumsy cub transforms into a capable hunter. This learning process can take years. Even at 2 years old, a young lion is not yet fully proficient. But by observing, practicing, and experiencing the real challenges of the hunt, the cub gradually masters the skills it will need for the rest of its life. A lion's roar is most often heard during the early morning and evening. While lions can roar at any time, they are most vocal during the hours around dawn and dusk. These are the times when they are most active, when they are preparing to hunt or have just returned from a hunt. The roar serves to announce their presence, to reaffirm territorial boundaries, and to communicate with pride members who may be spread out across a large area. In the stillness of early morning or the quiet of evening, a roar carries farther and clearer than it would during the heat and noise of midday. The acoustics of the savanna at these times are ideal for sound transmission. As the sun rises or sets, the air is cooler and sound waves travel more efficiently. For anyone who has been on safari and heard a lion roar in the dim light of dawn, it is an unforgettable experience. The sound seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, resonating through the landscape and through the listener. It is a sound that has echoed across Africa for millions of years, a voice that has shaped the rhythm of the wild. The structure of a lion's paw is adapted for both power and stealth. A lion's paw is a marvel of evolutionary design. It is large and powerful, capable of delivering crushing blows and holding down struggling prey. The pads on the bottom of the paw are thick and cushioned, absorbing the impact of running and providing traction on various surfaces. But the paw is also designed for stealth. When a lion walks, it does so almost silently, the soft pads muffling the sound of its footsteps. The retractable claws, when not in use, do not click against the ground, further reducing noise. This combination of power and silence is essential for a predator that relies on getting close to its prey before striking. The front paws are particularly strong, as they bear the brunt of the force during a pounce or a swipe. The claws on the front paws are larger and more curved than those on the hind paws, better suited for gripping and tearing. The hind paws, while still powerful, are more focused on propulsion, driving the lion forward in its explosive sprints. Every element of the paw, from the bones and tendons to the pads and claws, is optimized for the lion's way of life. Lions have a lower body temperature than many mammals. The average body temperature of a lion is slightly lower than that of many other mammals, hovering around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, compared to the human average of 98.6. This lower temperature may be an adaptation to the hot environments where lions live. Maintaining a lower baseline body temperature means the lion has more of a buffer before overheating becomes a problem. During periods of intense activity, such as a hunt or a fight, a lion's body temperature rises. Afterward, the lion seeks shade and rest, allowing its temperature to drop back to normal. The lion's circulatory system is also adapted to help manage heat. Blood vessels near the surface of the skin can dilate, allowing heat to radiate away. Panting is another mechanism, though lions use it less frequently than dogs. These physiological adaptations are subtle but important, part of the suite of traits that allow lions to survive in climates where temperatures can soar well above 100 degrees. The lion's body is a finely tuned machine, balancing the demands of activity with the need to avoid overheating in one of the world's harshest environments. Lions have been the subject of extensive scientific research. For decades, researchers have studied lions in the wild, seeking to understand their behavior, ecology, and social structures. One of the most famous studies was conducted by George Schaller in the Serengeti during the 1960s. His work laid the foundation for much of what we know about lion behavior. Since then, countless researchers have continued this work, using modern technology like GPS collars, camera traps, and genetic analysis to delve even deeper. These studies have revealed the complexities of lion society, the challenges they face, and the impacts of human activity on their populations. Research has also informed conservation strategies, providing the data needed to make informed decisions about habitat protection, anti-poaching measures, and conflict mitigation. The more we understand about lions, the better equipped we are to protect them. This research is not just academic. It is a vital tool in the fight to ensure that future generations will still be able to witness lions in the wild. Every data point, every observation, every hour spent watching a pride adds to our collective knowledge and brings us closer to a sustainable coexistence with these magnificent animals. The lion's mane can make males appear larger and more intimidating. Beyond its role as protection, the mane serves as a visual signal that amplifies the male lion's size. In confrontations with rivals, a full, dark mane can create the illusion of a larger, more formidable opponent. This may deter challenges without the need for physical combat, reducing the risk of injury. The mane also plays a role in attracting mates. Females assess males based on the quality of their mane, among other factors. A thick, healthy mane suggests a male who is well-fed, free of disease, and genetically robust. However, the mane comes at a cost. It is hot, especially in the intense African sun. Males with heavy manes may overheat more quickly, which is why some populations in hotter climates have evolved lighter, sparser manes. This trade-off between sexual selection and thermal regulation is a classic example of evolutionary compromise. The mane is beneficial in some ways and burdensome in others. But overall, it remains a defining feature of male lions, a crown of fur that marks them as kings of their domain. Lions are heavily featured in modern media and entertainment. From Disney's The Lion King to countless documentaries, lions have a prominent place in modern media. These portrayals have shaped public perception of lions, often emphasizing their nobility, courage, and family bonds. While these depictions are sometimes romanticized, they have also played a role in raising awareness about lion conservation. Millions of people who may never visit Africa have formed emotional connections with lions through films, books, and television. This connection can translate into support for conservation efforts, donations to wildlife organizations, and political pressure to protect lion habitats. However, media portrayals can also create misconceptions. Lions are sometimes depicted as purely noble or as ruthless killers, neither of which fully captures the complexity of the animal. Real lions are neither heroes nor villains. They are simply animals, shaped by evolution, trying to survive in a challenging world. Balancing the power of media to inspire with the need for accurate representation is an ongoing challenge. But there is no doubt that lions in media have become ambassadors for their species, reaching audiences that scientific papers and conservation reports never could. A lion's digestive system is designed to process large quantities of meat. Lions are obligate carnivores, meaning their diet consists entirely of meat. Their digestive system is streamlined for this purpose. The stomach is highly acidic, capable of breaking down bones, hide, and tough tissue. Unlike herbivores, lions do not have a complex, multi-chambered stomach or a long intestinal tract. Their intestines are relatively short, allowing for rapid digestion and absorption of nutrients. This efficiency is necessary because meat is nutrient-dense but can spoil quickly inside the body. A lion's digestive system processes a meal quickly, extracting the energy and nutrients needed to sustain their large, powerful bodies. After a big meal, lions can go several days without eating, their bodies slowly drawing on the stored energy. This digestive efficiency is one of the many adaptations that make lions such effective predators. They can consume vast quantities of food in one sitting, store the energy, and then go days before needing to hunt again. It is a system that aligns perfectly with the feast or famine rhythm of life on the savanna. Lions are affected by seasonal changes in prey availability. In many parts of Africa, prey populations fluctuate with the seasons. During the rainy season, when vegetation is lush and water is plentiful, herbivores thrive. They reproduce, and their populations swell. For lions, this is a time of plenty. Hunting success rates improve, and the pride can feast regularly. However, during the dry season, conditions change. Water sources shrink, vegetation withers, and herbivore populations decline. Some prey species migrate to areas with better resources, leaving the lion's territory depleted. During these lean times, lions must work harder to find food. Hunts become more challenging, and the pride may go days without a successful kill. Cubs born during the dry season face higher mortality rates, as there is less food to go around. These seasonal rhythms have shaped lion behavior and physiology over millennia. Lions have evolved to cope with scarcity, storing fat when food is abundant and enduring hunger when it is not. Understanding these seasonal dynamics is important for conservation efforts, as protecting lions means ensuring that the ecosystems they depend on remain functional throughout the year, providing the resources they need to survive both the good times and the bad. The bond between coalition males is strong and enduring. Male lions that form coalitions often stay together for life. These bonds are forged in the crucible of exile and nomadism, where young males must rely on each other to survive. Brothers often form coalitions, but unrelated males can also join forces. The bond is strengthened through shared experiences, from hunting together to fighting off rivals to taking over prides. Coalition members cooperate in ways that increase their collective success. They defend territory together, share access to females, and support each other in confrontations. This cooperation is not always equal. One male may be more dominant than the others, but the hierarchy is usually stable, and all members benefit from the coalition's strength. The loyalty between coalition males can be profound. There are documented cases of males staying with injured or sick partners, even when it would be easier to abandon them. This loyalty is not sentimentality, it is pragmatic. A strong coalition is more successful than any individual, and maintaining that coalition is in every member's interest. But it is hard not to see in these relationships something deeper, a bond that transcends mere survival and speaks to the social nature of these remarkable animals. Lions face threats from human-wildlife conflict. As human populations expand into areas that were once wild, encounters between people and lions become more frequent. Lions that prey on livestock are often killed by herders in retaliation. This conflict is one of the leading causes of lion mortality in some regions. From the perspective of the herder, the loss of livestock can be devastating, representing not just economic loss, but the loss of livelihood and security. From the perspective of conservation, each lion killed is a setback for a species already in decline. Addressing this conflict requires solutions that work for both people and lions. This can include building predator-proof enclosures for livestock, providing compensation for losses, and creating incentives for communities to protect rather than kill lions. In some areas, community-based conservation programs have successfully reduced conflict by involving local people in wildlife management and ensuring they benefit from tourism and other wildlife-related income. These programs recognize that conservation cannot succeed if it ignores the needs and concerns of the people who live alongside wildlife. The future of lions depends not just on protected areas and anti-poaching patrols, but on finding ways for humans and lions to coexist, respecting the needs of both. A lion's hearing can detect sounds at frequencies up to 65 kHz, while the human ear can detect sounds up to around 20 kHz. Lions can hear much higher frequencies, up to 65 kHz. This ability allows them to hear the ultrasonic calls and sounds made by small prey animals like rodents and birds. It also helps them detect the subtle sounds of larger prey moving through the bush. This acute high-frequency hearing is complemented by excellent low-frequency hearing, allowing lions to detect the rumbling calls of other lions and the distant movement of large herds. The range and sensitivity of a lion's hearing make it one of their most important senses. In the dense cover of the African bush or the darkness of night, hearing often provides the first alert to the presence of prey or danger. Lions' ears are also highly mobile, able to swivel independently to pinpoint the source of a sound. This directional hearing allows them to locate prey with precision, even when it is hidden from view. The combination of acute sensitivity and directional capability makes the lion's hearing a finely tuned instrument essential for survival in a world where the ability to detect danger or opportunity can mean the difference between life and death. Lions are symbols of conservation movements worldwide. The lion has become one of the iconic species of global conservation efforts. Organizations around the world use the lion as a symbol to raise awareness and funds for wildlife protection. The image of a lion draws attention, inspires emotion, and motivates action. Campaigns to protect lions often emphasize the broader benefits of conservation, from preserving biodiversity to protecting ecosystems that provide services like clean water and climate regulation. The lion serves as a flagship species, a charismatic animal that draws support for conservation efforts that benefit many other species and habitats. This symbolic role is powerful, but it also comes with challenges. Focusing on a single species can sometimes overshadow the need for broader ecosystem protection. And the gap between the symbolic lion, the noble king, and the real lion, a complex animal with needs and behaviors that sometimes conflict with human interests, can create unrealistic expectations. Effective conservation requires acknowledging both the symbolic power of the lion and the practical realities of protecting a large predator in a world dominated by humans. It requires balancing the emotional appeal of the lion with the hard work of habitat protection, community engagement, and scientific research. Lions communicate using scent marking. In addition to vocalizations and body language, lions use scent to communicate. They mark their territory by spraying urine on trees, rocks, and bushes. This scent contains information about the individual's identity, sex, and reproductive status. Other lions can read these chemical messages, learning who has been in the area and when. Scent marking serves to establish boundaries, reducing the likelihood of direct confrontations by clearly demarcating territory. Lions also use scent in social bonding. When pride members rub against each other, they exchange scents, creating a communal odor that identifies them as part of the same group. This shared scent reinforces social bonds and helps lions recognize pride members even in low visibility. The role of scent in lion communication is less visible than the roar or the visual display of the mane, but it is no less important. It is a constant, ongoing form of communication that operates below the threshold of human perception, a chemical language that guides lions through their social and territorial worlds. The role of older lionesses in a pride is crucial. In any lion pride, older lionesses hold a special place. They are often the most experienced hunters, with years of practice and accumulated knowledge. They know the territory intimately, from the best ambush spots to the locations of water sources during the dry season. Younger lionesses look to them for guidance, learning from their decisions and strategies. Older females are also important caregivers. They help raise cubs, even those that are not their own, contributing to the communal care system that defines lion society. Their presence stabilizes the pride, providing continuity and wisdom. However, as they age, older lionesses may become less effective hunters. Their teeth may wear down, their speed may decline, and injuries may accumulate. In the harsh world of the savannah, an aging lioness faces significant challenges. She may become more dependent on the pride, relying on younger, stronger members to make kills. Some older lions do not survive this transition. Others are supported by the pride, allowed to feed and rest, honored in a way for their years of contribution. The fate of an aging lioness is a reminder that life in the wild is finite and that survival is a constant negotiation between strength, support, and the inevitable passage of time. Lions have been subjects of ethical debates regarding trophy hunting. Trophy hunting of lions is a contentious issue. Proponents argue that regulated hunting can generate revenue for conservation and provide incentives for local communities to protect lion habitats. They point to examples where hunting concessions fund anti-poaching efforts and wildlife management. Opponents argue that trophy hunting is morally wrong, that it reduces lion populations, and that the revenue rarely benefits local communities or conservation in meaningful ways. The death of Cecil the lion in 2015 brought international attention to the issue, sparking outrage and debate. Cecil was a well-known lion in Zimbabwe, part of a research project, and his killing by a trophy hunter was widely condemned. The incident highlighted the ethical complexities of wildlife management and the differing values people place on individual animals versus populations and ecosystems. The debate continues, with some countries banning trophy hunting and others maintaining it as a legal activity. The truth is complex, and the best path forward likely depends on local conditions, governance, and community involvement. What is clear is that lions are valued not just as biological entities, but as symbols, and their treatment reflects broader questions about humanity's relationship with nature. A lion's paws can leave tracks that tell a story. Experienced trackers can read lion tracks like a book. The size and shape of the print reveal the age and sex of the animal. A large, broad print with widely spaced toes suggests a mature male. A smaller, narrower print indicates a female or a younger lion. The depth of the print can suggest the lion's weight and whether it was moving slowly, stalking, or running. The spacing between prints reveals the gait, whether the lion was walking, trotting, or sprinting. Fresh tracks with sharp edges and no debris indicate the lion passed recently. Weathered tracks with eroded edges and filled with wind-blown dust or sand are older. By following tracks, researchers and guides can locate lions, study their movements, and understand their behavior. Trackers can determine if a pride has cubs by spotting the tiny prints alongside those of adults. They can tell if a lion has made a kill by following drag marks or a sudden change in direction. This skill, passed down through generations in some cultures, is both art and science. It connects humans to the landscape and to the animals that move through it, a reminder that every step a lion takes leaves a mark, a story written in the earth. Lions engage in complex social interactions that include play. Play is not just for cubs. Adult lions also play, though less frequently. Play fights, chasing, and mock stalking occur among pride members, serving to strengthen bonds, relieve tension, and maintain physical fitness. Males may engage in rough play, testing each other's strength without serious intent to harm. Females may play with cubs, encouraging their development and reinforcing social connections. Play is a behavior that signals safety and relaxation. A pride that is well-fed, secure, and comfortable will engage in play. A pride under stress, facing hunger or threats, will not. Observing play within a pride is a window into their well-being and social health. It is also a reminder that lions, for all their power and ferocity, have moments of lightness and joy. They are not always hunting or fighting. They are also lounging, grooming, playing, and simply being together. These quieter moments are as much a part of lion life as the dramatic hunts and fierce battles. They are the glue that holds the pride together, the moments that make the struggle for survival bearable. Lions have inspired countless works of literature and poetry. From Aesop's fables to the epic poetry of ancient Greece, lions have been literary subjects for millennia. In the Iliad, Homer compares warriors to lions, using the animal as a symbol of strength and ferocity. In medieval bestiaries, lions were described with a mix of fact and fantasy, attributed with noble qualities and sometimes miraculous abilities. In modern literature, lions appear in everything from children's books to serious fiction. Ernest Hemingway wrote about hunting lions in Africa. Karen Blixen captured the spirit of lions in Out of Africa. Joy Adamson's Born Free told the true story of raising a lioness and returning her to the wild. Each of these works adds to the rich tapestry of lion literature, exploring themes of courage, freedom, nature, and the human connection to the wild. Poetry, too, has long celebrated the lion. Poets have used the animal as a metaphor for power, pride, and passion. The lion's roar, its golden mane, its fierce gaze, all have been captured in verse. This literary tradition reflects the deep cultural significance of lions, their ability to stir the imagination and to serve as vessels for human emotion and thought. The future of lions depends on habitat conservation. No amount of protection for lions themselves will matter if their habitat disappears. Lions need vast territories with sufficient prey, water, and cover. They need space to roam, to hunt, to raise their young. As human populations grow and land is converted for agriculture, development, and livestock grazing, lion habitat shrinks. Conservationists are working to protect large landscapes, creating corridors that connect protected areas and allow lions to move between them. These corridors are essential for maintaining genetic diversity and enabling lions to access resources across their range. Habitat conservation also benefits countless other species, from elephants and giraffes to the countless smaller animals and plants that make up the ecosystem. Protecting lion habitat is not just about lions. It is about preserving the integrity of entire landscapes, ensuring that the complex web of life remains intact. This work requires cooperation between governments, communities, conservation organizations, and international bodies. It is a monumental task, but it is the only way to ensure that lions have a future in the wild. Cubs are weaned at around 6 to 8 months. The transition from milk to meat is gradual for lion cubs. They begin sampling meat at around 3 months, but they continue to nurse for several more months. By 6 to 8 months, most cubs are fully weaned, relying entirely on meat for their nutrition. This transition is a critical milestone. It marks the cub's growing independence and its integration into the hunting and feeding dynamics of the pride. However, weaning is also a vulnerable time. Cubs that are weaned too early or that struggle to get enough meat may become weak and susceptible to disease or starvation. The mother's role during this period is crucial. She must balance her own nutritional needs with those of her cubs, ensuring they get enough food while also maintaining her strength for hunting and protection. The pride's success in making kills directly impacts the survival of the cubs during and after weaning. In times of plenty, weaning is smooth and cubs thrive. In times of scarcity, it can be a perilous transition, one that not all cubs survive. Lions have been kept as exotic pets, often with tragic results. Throughout history, wealthy individuals and royalty have kept lions as exotic pets. In ancient Rome, emperors kept lions in private menageries. In more recent centuries, eccentric collectors and entertainers have owned lions, often keeping them in inadequate conditions. These captive lions, removed from their natural environment and social structure, often suffer. They may develop behavioral problems, become aggressive, or live in chronic stress. Injuries to both the animals and their human caretakers are common. In many cases, pet lions eventually become too large or too dangerous to handle and are abandoned, sold, or euthanized. The private ownership of lions is now illegal or heavily regulated in many countries, but it still occurs. The exotic pet trade fuels demand for lion cubs, often taken from their mothers at a young age. This practice is widely condemned by conservationists and animal welfare advocates. Lions are not domestic animals. They are wild predators with complex needs that cannot be met in a backyard or a private facility. The keeping of lions as pets is a relic of a time when animals were seen as possessions rather than beings with intrinsic value. Today, the consensus among experts is clear. Lions belong in the wild or in accredited facilities dedicated to their care and conservation, not in private hands. The lion's skeletal structure is built for power and agility. The skeleton of a lion is a framework of strength. The bones are dense and robust, capable of supporting the animal's considerable weight and withstanding the forces generated during hunting and combat. The spine is flexible, allowing the lion to twist and turn with agility. The shoulder blades are not attached to the skeleton by bone but by muscle and ligament, providing a wide range of motion and absorbing the impact of running and pouncing. The hind legs are powerfully built, with long bones and large attachment points for muscles, enabling the explosive bursts of speed that lions are known for. The skull is particularly impressive, with large eye sockets, a broad muzzle, and powerful jaw attachments. The skull must withstand the forces generated by the bite and protect the brain during fights. Every element of the lion's skeleton is optimized for its role as an apex predator. It is a structure built for both the chase and the fight, for both grace and brutality. And it is a testament to the millions of years of evolution that have shaped the lion into one of nature's most effective hunters. Lions are featured in national parks and wildlife documentaries. Some of the most iconic images of lions come from Africa's great national parks: the Serengeti, the Masai Mara, Kruger, Hwange. These are the stages where lions live out their lives, often under the watchful eyes of cameras. Wildlife documentaries have brought the lives of lions into homes around the world. Filmmakers spend months, sometimes years, following prides, capturing intimate moments of birth, play, hunting, and death. These films have done more than entertain. They have educated millions about the realities of lion life, the challenges they face, and the need for conservation. Documentaries like those produced by the BBC's Natural History Unit or National Geographic have set the standard for wildlife filmmaking, using cutting-edge technology to reveal behaviors and details that would otherwise go unseen. Slow-motion cameras capture the power of a lion's leap. Night vision equipment reveals their nocturnal activities. Drones provide breathtaking aerial views of prides moving across the landscape. Through these films, lions have become familiar, their struggles and triumphs shared with audiences around the globe. This visibility is a double-edged sword. It inspires conservation efforts, but it can also create a false sense that lions are thriving, when in reality, many populations are in decline. Still, the power of these images to connect people with lions is undeniable. A lion's vocal repertoire extends beyond the roar. While the roar is the most famous sound a lion makes, it is not the only one. Lions produce a variety of vocalizations, each serving a different purpose. A soft grunting sound, often described as a contact call, is used to communicate with pride members at close range. It is a reassuring sound, a way of saying, "I'm here, everything is okay." A louder, more forceful grunt can be a warning or a call to action. Snarls and growls express aggression or irritation. A hiss is a defensive sound, often accompanied by a swipe of the paw. Cubs make a high-pitched mewing sound, calling for their mothers or expressing distress. Lionesses respond with soothing grunts or chuffs. During mating, males and females produce a variety of sounds, from low moans to sharp calls. Each of these vocalizations adds nuance to lion communication, allowing for a rich and varied conversation within the pride. Together, they form a language that is understood by all lions, a shared vocabulary that governs social interactions, coordinates hunts, and maintains the bonds that hold the pride together. Lions are vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Like all species, lions are affected by changes in climate. Shifts in rainfall patterns can alter the availability of water and vegetation, impacting prey populations. Droughts can lead to mass die-offs of herbivores, leaving lions without sufficient food. Conversely, heavy rains can cause floods, destroying dens and displacing prides. Changes in temperature can affect the distribution of diseases and parasites, potentially exposing lions to new health threats. Climate change also exacerbates human-wildlife conflict. As resources become scarcer, competition between lions and humans intensifies. People and lions may both be drawn to the same dwindling water sources or the same areas where prey congregates. The long-term impacts of climate change on lions are still being studied, but the early indications are concerning. Lions are adaptable, but there are limits to how much change they can withstand, especially when combined with other pressures like habitat loss and poaching. Addressing climate change is not just an environmental issue, it is a conservation issue, one that affects the survival of species around the world, including lions. Lions have a unique social structure compared to other big cats. Among the world's big cats, lions stand alone in their social organization. Tigers are solitary, with males and females coming together only briefly to mate. Leopards are also solitary, each individual maintaining its own territory. Jaguars, snow leopards, and cheetahs all follow similar patterns. But lions live in prides, complex social groups that hunt together, raise young together, and defend territory together. This social structure offers numerous advantages, from increased hunting success to better protection for cubs. But it also creates unique challenges. Social cohesion must be maintained. Hierarchies must be navigated. Resources must be shared. The evolution of sociality in lions is a subject of ongoing research. It is believed that the open savannas of Africa, with their large herds of prey, favored the development of cooperative hunting. Over time, this cooperation extended to other aspects of life, creating the pride structure we see today. This social nature is one of the defining features of lions, setting them apart from their solitary cousins and shaping every aspect of their behavior and ecology. The lion's place in the food chain is at the very top. As apex predators, lions have no natural predators once they reach adulthood. They are at the top of the food chain, the ultimate consumers in their ecosystem. This position comes with responsibility. As top predators, lions help regulate the populations of herbivores, preventing overgrazing and maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. By culling the old, weak, and sick, they ensure that prey populations remain healthy and vigorous. This process, often called natural selection, is brutal but essential. It is one of the ways nature maintains balance. The removal of lions from an ecosystem can have cascading effects. Herbivore populations may explode, leading to overgrazing and habitat degradation. Smaller predators and scavengers may struggle without the carcasses that lions provide. The entire structure of the ecosystem can shift, often in ways that are harmful and difficult to reverse. This is why conserving lions is about more than just saving a charismatic species. It is about preserving the health and function of entire ecosystems, ensuring that the natural world continues to operate as it has for millions of years. Lions have been used in heraldry and symbolism for centuries. The lion is one of the oldest and most widespread heraldic symbols. In medieval Europe, lions appeared on shields, banners, and coats of arms, representing courage, strength, and royalty. The three lions of England, the lion rampant of Scotland, the lion of the Netherlands, all are enduring symbols of national identity and pride. The lion in heraldry is often depicted in stylized forms, standing on hind legs, roaring, or holding objects like swords or crowns. These images are not meant to be realistic. They are symbolic, representing ideals and values. The use of the lion in this way speaks to its universal appeal. Even in cultures where lions never roamed, the image was adopted and revered. The lion became a symbol of kingship, of divine right, of military might. It was a creature worthy of association with the powerful and the noble. This heraldic tradition continues today, with lions appearing on flags, emblems, and logos around the world. The lion remains a symbol of strength, a visual shorthand for power and authority that is understood across cultures and languages. A lion's lifespan in the wild is shaped by constant challenges. Every day in the life of a wild lion is a test. Will there be food today? Will a rival challenge the pride? Will a cub survive the night? These uncertainties define the lion's existence. Unlike animals in captivity, where meals are regular and medical care is available, wild lions must navigate a world of scarcity, danger, and competition. Injuries from hunts, fights, and accidents are common and can be fatal. Disease and parasites take a toll. And the ever-present threat of human activity, from poaching to habitat loss, adds another layer of danger. Despite these challenges, lions persevere. They adapt, they cooperate, they survive. And in doing so, they fulfill their role in the ecosystem, shaping the landscape and the lives of countless other species. The lion's life is not easy, but it is real, unvarnished by the comforts of captivity. It is a life lived on the edge, where every moment matters and survival is never guaranteed. And it is this rawness, this connection to the fundamental struggle for existence, that makes the lion so compelling, so admired, and so worthy of protection. The bond between a mother lion and her cubs is one of nature's most powerful. From the moment of birth, a lioness is devoted to her cubs. She nurses them, protects them, teaches them, and sacrifices for them. This bond is not just biological. It is emotional, a connection that defines the mother's life for the first 2 years of her cub's existence. She will defend them against threats, even at the risk of her own life. She will go hungry to ensure they are fed, and she will grieve if they are lost. This maternal bond is mirrored in the communal care provided by other females in the pride. Aunts, sisters, and cousins all contribute to raising the young, creating a network of support that increases the cub's chances of survival. This cooperative mothering is one of the strengths of lion society. It ensures that even if a mother is injured or killed, her cubs may still survive, cared for by the pride. The Mother-Cub Bond is the foundation of the pride, the starting point from which all other social relationships grow. It is a bond built on instinct but expressed through behavior that looks remarkably like love. Lions inspire conservation success stories. Amid the challenges facing lions, there are stories of hope. In some regions, lion populations are stabilizing or even growing thanks to dedicated conservation efforts. Protected areas like the Serengeti Mara ecosystem have maintained healthy lion populations for decades. In South Africa, well-managed reserves have seen lion numbers increase, and surplus animals have been used to restock other areas. Community-based conservation programs have successfully reduced human-lion conflict in places like Namibia and Kenya, where local people now see lions as assets rather than threats. These successes demonstrate that with commitment, resources, and collaboration, it is possible to protect lions and even reverse declines. They also provide models that can be replicated in other regions. The path forward is not easy, but these success stories prove that it is possible. They show that conservation works, that the decline of lions is not inevitable, and that humanity has the capacity to coexist with one of the planet's most magnificent creatures. The roar of a lion is a sound that has echoed through human history. For as long as humans have existed, they have heard the roar of lions. Our ancestors, living on the African savanna, would have known this sound intimately. It would have been a signal of danger, a reminder of the powerful predators that shared their world. As humans spread across the globe, the sound of the lion's roar went with them, carried in stories, in legends, in collective memory. Even today, for people who have never been to Africa, the lion's roar is instantly recognizable. It is a sound that evokes the wild, that stirs something primal within us. It is a connection to a time when humans were not the dominant force on the planet, when we were part of the ecosystem rather than apart from it. The roar is more than just a sound. It is a symbol, a reminder of the wild places that still exist and the creatures that inhabit them. And as long as that roar continues to echo across the savannas of Africa, there is hope that the lion will endure. And so, dear listener, our journey through the world of lions comes to a close. From the golden plains where they sleep in the sun, to the shadowed thickets where they raise their cubs. From the thunderous roar that carries across the savanna to the gentle grooming that binds the pride together. We have walked alongside these magnificent creatures, witnessing their strength and their vulnerability, their fierceness and their tenderness. Lions are more than just predators. They are symbols, teachers, and survivors. They remind us of the wild, of the power and beauty that still exists in the natural world. They challenge us to think beyond ourselves, to consider the lives and needs of other beings. And they inspire us, through their resilience and their grace, to protect what remains of the wild places they call home. As you lie here, letting your thoughts drift and your breathing slow, imagine yourself on the savanna. Feel the warmth of the sun, the softness of the grass beneath you. Hear the distant call of a lion, a sound that has echoed through millions of years. See the pride resting together, a family bound by blood and survival, their golden coats blending into the earth. all of it flowing into stillness, into memory, into dreams. The lion has carried the weight of human fascination for thousands of years, and it will carry the hopes of conservation into the future. Its story is not finished, and in learning about these animals, we become part of that story. Just as day gives way to night, and as the savannah settles into the quiet of evening, let your mind settle too. If you happen to still be awake, you can go ahead and watch the next video when you are ready. But if your eyes are growing heavy, let the presence of the lion, calm and powerful, hold you and carry you softly into rest. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and drift into sleep, into stillness, into the vast and timeless silence where the lions themselves keep watch. Good night.